It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. Kicking off the show tonight, we heard Fifth Freedom with Seasons Changing. And looking out my window, my studio window here, I can see that the seasons have definitely changed on us. And we are coming up on the Christmas, New Year's season. And just after that, we heard another favorite band of mine, Starblind, with The Last Stand, and this is the last stand of the CMS for 2017, and I want to welcome to the mic for the final time in this year my friend and partner Chris Aiken. What's going on, Chris?
Only 5 hours and 39 minutes to go?
Yeah, exactly.
No, what's going on, man?
Will you be able to hang for that amount of time? Do you got other things to do, better things to do?
Well, I got the last 3 episodes of The Ranch to finish, so you literally had to pull me away to get me to come and do the show tonight.
Yeah.
But I am here, and truthfully, I will probably watch the end of The Ranch after the show tonight.
Yeah, I totally forgot that launched. What was it? Friday?
Friday, yeah.
Friday, yeah. I did not see it. I forgot that it was already that time of the year. I mean, things went by so quickly since they announced the new season. And I totally forgot that the new season kicked off last night.
Lots of rubbing my dick watching Alicia Cuthbert. That's for damn sure. Lots of that going on.
Sure, absolutely.
They just have her parading around and fucking... It's funny because there's one scene where she's in like a wife beater and her tits are just bouncing around. It's like, oh, I would love to squeeze those fucking tits. But the hottest is there's this one scene where she's wearing like a red, almost like a turtleneck sweater, but it's one of those skin tight things. Oh, she just looks fucking incredible, man. I was like, God damn it, I need to fucking Danny Masterson her.
Yeah, no kidding.
Take after a co-star.
Now you went into you're three episodes away to the end of the season already?
Yeah, there's 10 total episodes, and I've watched 7.
All right. And how are they exiting Danny Masterson?
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know how they're going to do it because he's still. I think, don't they do 2 like half seasons with this show? Isn't that how they do this? There's like season X half and season Y half, and then they put it all together and call it a season.
I guess I really don't know. All I know is what I'm asking is, since you've watched 7 of the 10 episodes,
no hint that he's leaving.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
I mean, not a clue. They're not setting up any plot line that he's out or that he's, thinking about moving away or, at least where I am after 7 episodes, they're actually positioning him to be more in the show. So, and obviously we know that's not going to happen. So something's going to change, and it might, if it's a half season, then I'm thinking it'll be in that second half.
I gotcha.
But the one thing they did do, though, is he's barely in any of the promo for the show, though. Like the trailer and everything, he's like, there's like one clip of him, and like all the rest are scenes without him.
Right.
They're working him out that way, but I don't know. The show's still goddamn funny, man. It's a good show. I love it.
Well, I know I'll probably catch up on some of it tomorrow.
Sure.
And then we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to diving into that since I basically binged watch Stranger Things when it came out, and I was done with that over a weekend.
Yeah, and these are shorter. These are all 30-minute episodes, so you can blitz through this in half a day.
Sure.
So it's good though. I mean, it's quality, and Alicia Cuthbert, Jesus fucking Christ.
Now, how old in real life is she? How old is she?
Well, let's take a look. Let me go to my e-drive.
She's got to be her mid-30s?
Yeah, something like that. Because I mean, she's probably the same age as Paris Hilton. Because originally she was one of those that hung around with Paris Hilton. That's how she came to be known. Was that she was like one of them whores that ran around with Paris.
Sure.
And that would put her at, she is 35.
All right, so mid-30s.
Just had a birthday, November 30th, 1982.
All right, so she was born when I graduated high school.
Right. Perfect age.
Right.
Gosh, it's too old for you. She's a grandmother in Neely dating age.
So what are you saying about me, Chris?
You date young. You date young, I date breathing.
Right.
That's how it works.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. But, yeah, so watch that. Tried to watch Star Wars today, but I got bored, so I, quote-unquote, left the theater.
Yeah. The Cody clicked off to another thing.
I was not using Cody. That would be wrong.
That would be wrong.
Oh, Terrarium TV, that's another thing.
Sure.
Cody, that's just terrible.
Yeah. You know, I still, to this day, have never watched Star Wars.
Not a single movie, huh?
Not a single movie.
Really?
That's
I just find that odd that just sheer curiosity wouldn't lead you to that.
Nope. Not a single movie.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was talking to somebody about it, and in fact, I think it was my mom today, actually. And it's like, I enjoy those movies, but not to the level of most people, I guess, because I like to watch, you know, I can watch it once, maybe twice, and I'm good. You know, I don't need to watch it 31 times. I just, you know, once, twice, I get it. Okay, Darth, whatever. Cool. Somebody dies. The Force is with us. Move on to the next movie. I got it.
Right.
You know, but the level of worship for some people is ridiculous. It's just crazy how people, I'd rather watch another documentary on JFK getting his head blown off.
I would agree with that. I totally agree.
Yeah. I mean, it just works that way for me.
Well, Star Wars, you know, is not relevant to me. Even when was the first one aired? 77?
77, yeah.
So even then, you know, it was never even a curiosity to me at all.
Yeah.
And you know, when the sequels came out in the early 80s, I guess it was, there was, I couldn't tell you what episode is what, but regardless of that, when I entered the working world, you know, and of course your coworker, I went to see Star Wars, the whatever, Return of the Jedi or whatever, whatever it is. You know, it's just ranting and raving, and even in all the talk and hearing the discussion, it never said, "Man, I got to go see that."
Sure,
that never piqued my curiosity to where it was just like, that sounds really good. I got to go see that.
Do you like any sci-fi or no?
Very little. Let me see. What would be the? Well, of course, I love Stranger Things. I thought that was great.
Yeah, that's more. I mean, that's, I guess, sort of sci-fi, but that's a little more like kind of weird drama type thing.
It is, but I guess it's sort of a mix between reality and sci-fi
and action and drama. It's got a little of everything.
Sure. I would say that if I were to rank the type of movies that I like the best, comedy would be number one.
Sure.
Number one. Hands down. Then I kind of like a little bit of action adventure, and what I mean by action adventure, and I'll give you examples. I like the Jack Reacher movies. Okay, that was kind of reality, but kind of action adventure. I do like Pulp Fiction. I like that kind of a movie. Then I kind of like obviously the the Goodfellas, Casino, that kind of stuff. The Godfather,
Bronx Tale.
Yeah, I don't know what you would call those type of movies.
Mafia movies or gangster movies.
Yeah, they're gangster movies. So those are the type that would fall into line there. But as you know, and then I like I guess I don't know what you want to call them. They're campy movies, if you will. Like I'm just going to throw some older movies out there, like American Graffiti.
Oh, all right, and House. Stuff like
they're kind of nostalgic movies.
Yeah,
I like those. That kind of stuff. But you know, the Star Wars, the futuristic stuff, the Jurassic Parks, that kind of stuff, doesn't even interest me.
See, now I can watch a Jurassic Park. Star Wars I'll watch, but I see, my thing is I'm not really into sci-fi either. You know, like Buck Rogers and Battlestar Galactica and even like Star Trek and all that shit. Ugh. You know, not really into it. You know, and I like dialogue type movies. You know, if it's got a lot of dialogue, I usually like it, whether it would be a gangster thing like The Godfather or Godfather 2, which is a ton of dialogue, or something like, remember Murder in the First?
Yeah.
Remember that movie?
Sure.
That's like one of my favorite movies of all time because the dialogue is fucking amazing in that movie. You know, stuff like that I like. And then I am big on gangster movies. I'll watch anything. It could be the Godfather's wife, and I'm watching it just because it is somehow related to gangster stuff.
Sure, I get you.
See, and the one thing, and this is one place that you're real different than me. I like comedy, but it's got to be the exact right kind of comedy for me. Like I can watch. It's weird because a lot of the stuff that people love, I don't love, like The Hangover. People love that movie. Me, not so much. Anchorman.
Now the first one or all of them?
All of them.
Okay. See, I thought the first one was really, really good, and then the follow-ups to The Hangover, wasn't so thrilled about them. They were reaching hard. But the original Hangover for me, as far as a comedy was concerned, there were so many twists and turns you just didn't see it coming.
Nah, I don't know. I think I didn't see it till it was already out on like DVD, I think. And I think I had heard all the funny jokes already to where I was kind of like, all right. You know, but like I'm weird with comedies because like, and I know this movie stinks, but I love it anyway. Is that Hot Tub Time Machine?
See,
and Hot Tub Time Machine 2.
Yeah, I watched that and I didn't dig it.
Most people didn't, but I loved it. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, see, I watched it twice because I thought, well, maybe I missed something the first time, right? Mm-hmm. And I watched it the second time. I was like, that one kind of fell flat for me. And I'll give you an example of another one that just really fell flat for me, but other people thought it was funny.
Yeah.
What the hell was the name of it? It was that cop movie.
Not the Mall Cop.
No. It had a lot to do with smoking weed and shit.
Not
Troopers, Super Troopers.
Super Troopers? Yeah, I didn't dig that.
I didn't dig that at all. I didn't think that was funny. I didn't find anything funny about it, but then again, I don't smoke weed.
Yeah.
So I don't relate to that, and
Sure.
I didn't think that movie was funny at all.
What about like do you like Will Ferrell stuff or not?
It's hit and miss.
Yeah, same here.
See, I thought that Step Brothers was funny.
Yeah, it was okay.
You know, I didn't find it like bust a gut hilarious, but I thought it was funny. You know,
Yeah.
I thought that there were some parts in it that were kind of silly, but you know, and another one, and I've talked about this on the show, that I don't think it's a great movie, but I like it for mindless entertainment, is that Get 'Em to the Greek.
Yeah.
That one makes me laugh every time. I've seen it probably 10 times.
Sure.
And I would watch it again because it's just, I don't know what it is. It's just a goofy movie.
Right. What about Daddy's Home with Will Ferrell? And,
yeah, that was kind of funny. I thought that Mark Wahlberg's character was made the movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, see, I'm not a fan of Will Ferrell at all.
Yeah.
I think that's in large part because my ex used to make me watch that fucking horrible Stranger Than Fiction movie.
Okay.
Where Will Ferrell was like a writer and like God was talking to him or some shit.
Right.
God damn it, that was fucking bad. And it made me absolutely hate Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
And I just don't find him to be, you know, he reminds me of fucking, I don't know, Gallagher
or Adam Sandler.
Yeah, Adam Sandler's another one. I to this day, other than the one movie that Steph made me watch that was like real serious about the guy that, it's the only Adam Sandler I like, and I don't know what the name of the movie is, but it's about this fucking dude that's Adam Sandler, and his wife, and he was supposed to be on a plane that went into one of the towers on 9/11.
Oh, I didn't see that.
But he, for whatever reason, he stayed back because he was getting some fucking tile or something.
Okay.
Delivered to his house, and then his family all died on 9/11, and then he gets all fucked up and like retiles his bathroom every single day because he's because that's why he stayed home and let his family die without him.
Sure.
And then what's his name? The dude from the Hotel Rwanda, the black dude, whatever his name is. Do you know that? What is that guy's name? He's like famous too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me look him up. Hotel RHU, or how do you spell Rwanda?
It's
RWANDA.
Yeah.
Hotel Rwanda. What is that guy's name? Star Don Cheadle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Don Cheadle
Yeah,
was.
he was in Boogie Nights.
Yeah, he was the friend that knew Adam Sandler from college, and runs into him probably at the fucking tile store, and then tries to help him get his life back in order.
Okay.
After he's all fucked up. But it's like the only good movie Adam Sandler's done. I hated every other movie he's ever done. All the stupid Billy Madison and Waterboy and all that shit. Ugh. Hate all of that.
Did you see one movie, That's My Boy?
Hated it.
Did you?
Yep, hated it.
You know who was funny in that? Was Vanilla Ice.
I can't even think of what he did in it. Yeah, I saw it once. Didn't like it.
No?
Nope. Not a fan. Not a fan of Adam Sandler.
Yeah, I'm not either. I got to agree with you. I'm not a fan either. But, it's just those kind of movies. They were huge, mainstream huge.
Right.
But, the funny stuff, probably one of the funniest movies that I like that didn't really have any mainstream characters in it at all, but what just makes me laugh, and I must have watched it a bunch of times, is that movie Sex Drive.
Yeah, that was okay.
That was just a funny-ass movie.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. Not bad.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't a big hit, but it makes me laugh every time I watch it.
Sure. Yeah, comedy is one of those, like, you like a lot more comedy than I do. It's my second or third choice. And truthfully, these days, lately, in the last probably 2 years, I'll bet I haven't watched 10 movies. I am big on the TV. I have totally turned myself into a binge watcher. I am total 2017 guy. If I can watch one movie for an hour and a half, or I can watch a 10-part episode, 10 hours of Bosch, I'll watch 10 hours of Bosch.
Right.
Every single time. And, dude, I gave my mom a Roku because she needed one. And, she's trying to get to the cord cut, so she had me program her up a Roku. And I took one of my 15 and, cleaned it up to give to her.
You couldn't get her a new one?
I didn't need to. I have 5. I literally have 5 devices for 2 TVs, and they're all brand new. They're all within 6 months of old. It's barely used. It didn't make sense to go out and spend another $150 when I had a spare Roku Ultra.
Sure.
It didn't make sense to buy another one. So I was just cleaning it up. Plus, it has all my passwords and stuff on it so that she can use. So, I was setting it up, and I was looking at my watch list for Netflix and Amazon Prime and Hulu. I have like 100 things queued up to watch. and all of them are like 10 or 15 episodes or 2 or 3 seasons or whatever. I have this humongous, I'm such a TV sycophant that I can't stop watching now. I am totally involved, and to sit down and watch a movie for like 2 hours, almost impossible for me. I have to get into a story, or else I just don't care anymore.
Right, I gotcha.
It's crazy.
Yeah, well, I gotta admit, movie-wise, I might watch, I'm trying to think here, I might watch one movie every 10 days.
All right.
On an average. But most of the stuff I watch are documentaries.
Yeah, I watch a ton of documentaries.
Every time, and one thing I like about Amazon Prime particularly, is that when you watch one documentary or something, they crop up another one that's related to it or might be similar or whatever, recommendation-wise.
Yeah, their recommendations, unlike Netflix, are pretty close.
Yeah.
Netflix just throws you up at whatever they're fucking pimping that day. You'll be watching Stranger Things, and I'll be like, here's something that you might like, To Make a Murderer. It's like, that has nothing to do with Stranger Things. other than it's something that they produced, so they got to make their money out of it.
Sure, but there's a lot of great music documentaries out there.
Oh yeah,
and I watch a ton of those. Even if I'm not a fan of the band, I'll just watch it because I like to see what the dysfunction was, or what the secret of their success was at the time, or what circumstances brought about their rise to fame, or what was their biggest downfall.
Sure.
That kind of stuff. That's what makes me curious.
Yeah, that fucking Malcolm Dome and his fucking dentist's dream teeth are fucking he's in everything. You know what I'm talking about? The bald guy the bald reviewer guy from England?
Yeah.
God, he's on every one of those documentaries. He's on the AC/DC one, on the Black Sabbath one, on the Iron Maiden one, on the Overkill one. He's like in all of them.
Yeah.
It's like he's like the go-to guy.
Sure.
Him and you know who else is in a lot of them is our buddy Joel MacGyver.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that.
Yeah, Joel's a player in that world too.
He is.
Which good for him.
Yeah. So I watch a lot of those, and then because I watch something, say let's just throw something out there like Yes. Mm-hmm. I saw a documentary on Yes, and then they'll pop something up there about like Emerson, Lake and Palmer or something like that. And I'll watch it regardless if I'm a fan or not. I know who they are, or I may not have bought their records or anything like that, but then I'll go, all right, how did these guys, what was their claim to fame, or how did they raise to where they were? Who got behind them and decided that they were the chosen one?
Right.
That kind of stuff.
What's a good one that you would hate musically, but I think you would love it just to watch the fucking dysfunction of humanity is the Insane Clown Posse one on Amazon Prime.
I saw it. There's two of them, actually. There's two different ICP documentaries that I keep seeing pop up in the list.
Did you watch either of them?
I did not watch either one of them yet.
You got to watch one, dude. You'll just be horrified at what's going on out there.
Yeah.
It is just a disaster. Their fans are... disclosure out there, I like ICP. I am a fan, but I am not a fan of their fans.
Hey, look, there's Chris and Neely at the movies.
Hey, there we are. Yeah, thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of their audience, but I am a fan of their music and their show.
Right.
Their stage show is great. If you just want to see a goofy stage show, that's the one to go see. They are fucking ridiculous on stage. I've enjoyed their shows a couple of times. They're fun.
Cool.
Spraying all that pop all over everybody.
Well, I'll take a gamble and pick one of them and watch.
Yeah, you'll like it, and they have this one scene where they have this guy that they hire to be one of the wicked clowns that comes out on stage and what he's supposed to do. And he's just all fucked up, and and it's funny seeing these guys get yelled at because they didn't dance around the right way or whatever. Sure. It's like you're an Insane Clown Posse, not fucking TSO.
Right.
It's not exactly Broadway. But they're like, no, you got to do this and you got to. I was like, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Well, speaking of movies,
yeah,
the girlfriend and I watched a movie the other night. And
there's a girlfriend now.
The girlfriend and I, yes.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Is that like a step forward step?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what you want to call that, but regardless.
All right. Look at you.
Look at me. So there was a movie that popped up. I think it was on Amazon. It might have been on Netflix. I don't remember. I think it's on Netflix. Mm-hmm. One of the worst horror movies I've ever seen.
What was it?
It's called Red Christmas.
Red Christmas.
Red Christmas.
I have not seen or heard
one of the worst, horrific movies I've ever seen. I know that you would do bad movie night.
Right, sure.
This would be a bad movie night movie.
All right.
It's just terrible.
I'm looking it up right now. It has 44% on the tomato meter, so it's not ridiculously awful. 9 rottens and 4 or 7 fresh. Let's see. What is this movie about here? Matriarch Diane has invited her children to celebrate one last Christmas in their family home. Amid celebrations and domestic drama, they receive a visit from a mysterious stranger. Disfigured and cloaked, they feel sorry for him until they discover his extreme religious motives and anti-abortion mess. Ugh. God, that even sounds bad. What made you watch this?
Well, it was a horror movie, and she likes horror movies.
Okay.
And it's Christmas time.
All right.
So it's like the best of both worlds.
Okay.
So just the long and the short of it, so you don't have to waste your time ever watching this pile of garbage.
Well, it seems like it's everywhere. It's on Amazon and Netflix. Go ahead.
So this matriarch that you mentioned in the description, she went in for an abortion because
this old lady.
Well, when she was younger.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant now.
No. 20 years prior.
Okay.
20 years prior to this scene that's taken place.
Right.
She discovered her soon-to-be-born baby was going to be a Downs baby.
All right.
So she decided to abort it.
Okay.
All right. I don't know how far along in her pregnancy she was when she decided to abort it.
About 38 weeks.
But apparently it was old enough to where it lived outside of the womb once it was aborted.
Oh, boy.
And because in the middle of her abortion, some anti-abortion activists threw a bomb into the abortion clinic.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So the abortion staff or the medical staff had to react quickly. And instead of seeing that the aborted fetus was terminated per se, they just threw it into a bucket. And there was an anti-abortion. I don't know what his actual position was in the clinic. He was like an orderly or a doctor or something. They didn't make it clear what he was. He was wearing a white, like, lab coat.
Okay.
Well, he heard something like scratching around in this bucket. And all you see is he reaches into this bucket and then he walks out of this room with something wrapped into it in a cloth or a blanket.
Right.
And then they fast forward 20 years later.
Ugh.
From there. Well, this abortion lived.
Of course it did.
Okay. So 20 years later, this abortion is looking for his mother.
Oh, God.
And by this time, it's a fucked up mess because he was aborted and he didn't get fully, developed.
Right.
He lives with this skin condition where his skin basically peels off. So he has to wear these cloaks all the time. And basically, he came to their house to basically ask, why she aborted him and does she love him and all this and that. What ends up happening
is this a spoiler?
Yeah, this is the spoiler. What ends up happening is she's got 1, 2, 3. She's got 3 other children.
Yeah.
And they have spouses and significant others and whatnot at this point. Everyone in the house gets murdered.
Well, they have to. Striking revenge.
It is.
Yeah, of course.
So
and then did Harry Chapin play out the credits or what?
You would have thought so.
This sounds like the Return of Bummer sequel.
More or less. So if you want to spend an hour and whatever it is,
82 minutes.
Yeah. If you want to spend an hour and 22 minutes watching this abortion of a movie, have at it. I mean, it's one of the worst movies.
All right, let's play the game here. You're going to love this. It was in theaters. It
actually made it into theaters on
a limited release.
Yeah, well, no doubt. I would have thought that was direct to DVD.
It was in theaters on August 25th. It came out on disc and streaming October 17th.
This year?
Yes.
Oh,
this
it
year.
was made this year.
It was released this year,
Oh.
August 25th, and it was on disc and streaming October 17th. Would you like to guess the box office receipts this movie made?
Ah, boy, I couldn't have been much.
Take a guess. What would you guess?
Well, how many was it released in the U.S. theaters?
It just says in theaters
Okay.
August 25th,
All right.
limited.
I'm gonna
I'm gonna say yes.
All right. Box office receipts for this movie,
Yes.
$5,000.
You are too high.
Really?
$1,927.
Yeah.
At $12 a ticket, that's what? About 150 people?
Yeah.
150 total people saw that. If you take friends out, probably about 20 people.
Sure.
Holy smokes. That's fun. Now, see, now you're right. I have to watch this now.
It's a horrific movie.
If it's really, really bad, I need it for bad movie night.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's the comment I made is like, man, this is one of those bad movie night movies.
I gotta keep track of that one.
Just terrible.
Funny. Red Christmas.
Yeah. The premise was just, I mean, I guess the premise was kind of cool, that an abortion that lived,
Yeah.
but it was just so poorly done. It just terrible.
Well, dude, all of these bad. I mean, that's what makes a bad movie a bad movie, is that the execution is bad.
Yeah.
There's usually a decent story, but dude, it's like we were watching one of our all-time favorites, a winner of bad movie night one night was a movie called Birdemic.
Okay.
And Birdemic was the plot was something about these birds had eaten some toxic waste.
Okay.
And then they just started, like, they would dive bomb into stuff and blow up. So they would chase people down and blow up.
Okay.
But and the premise was already kind of bad, but just the execution was awful. They would do these far shots that looked like somebody just put it up on one of those projectors.
Okay.
Just a projector, and then they would when the birds would dive, they would make the same sound as like an airplane, a kamikaze going in boat. It was so bad. And but they had this one scene, and I mean, we were laughing so fucking hard. It was this guy and his girlfriend that were at a diner talking.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently they didn't have two cameras, so they shot it on different days. And so when the guy was talking, it would sound like the guy. It would just sound regular. But when the girl was talking, they didn't have it mic'd the same way or anything.
Okay.
So you heard all of the background noise. So they would show the guy, and he'd be like, "Where do you think we should hide?" And then they'd flash over to the girl, and you'd hear, "Well, we should go to the sun."
So it was like listening to Mark and John trying to do a podcast in a bar.
But at least those guys, they had the same ambience behind them.
So his was nice and clean and clear, and hers had a bunch of like kitchen noise and shit in the background.
Yeah, but it was supposed to be like they were sitting at the same table.
Right, I gotcha.
It was so fucking bad. Birdemic is one of the all-time. The two classics that we have found to date are Birdemic and Troll. Well, three: Birdemic, Troll 2. Troll 2 was really bad, and Rubber.
Yeah, the one with the tire.
The haunted tire.
Yeah.
That goes around killing people.
Right.
So good. Bad movie night is a lot of fun.
Well, for a mainstream bad movie that had a pretty decent soundtrack, was that movie with Emilio Estevez where everything was possessed. What was it? It had the AC/DC soundtrack to it.
What was it? Maximum Overdrive?
That's the one.
Yeah.
What a terrible movie that was.
And that's a King, isn't that? Isn't that a Stephen King book?
It might have been, but it was just a terrible movie.
Yeah.
All the cars and the trucks and everything are out there killing them.
Yeah, it was Christine with trucks.
More or less, yeah.
It was. They were like, well, we did well with this one, so let's make it bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that one has a 17% tomato rating. Listen to the plot of this. How did people ever go and see this fucking movie? Yeah, it is a Stephen King, by the way. Written and directed. After radiation from a comet showers the Earth, inanimate tractor trailers come to life and terrorize a group of people trapped in a rest stop.
Right, exactly.
The manager and a prisoner on parole organize the defense of the group and engage a counterattack. God, just reading that, it's like, why would you ever go fucking see that movie? So bad.
Yeah, one of the worst mainstream, actual movies that had, real actors in it and stuff.
Yeah. Well, and it has Stephen King's name on the box.
Yeah.
And that was when King was at his height, wasn't it? That was right when that was 1986. That was at his dominant point, wasn't it? When he was doing Cujo and Christine and The Fog and all that shit. That was all at that same time, wasn't it?
In that same time frame, yeah.
Yeah, that's when he became $100 millionaire. And then he put out that bag of shit.
Yeah.
He was like, I fooled you.
Terrible.
I love when guys get really successful and then they forget. They forget what it was that made them successful. They get sucked into their own fame and they just believe that they're great.
Yeah.
You have to think that Stephen King was like, well, I did well with Christine. Why not write it about trucks? That'll be even better, man. So too funny.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of bad TV and a lot of bad movies out there. So, but anyway, that's one that we stumbled across and watched, and it was just like, holy shit, are you kidding me?
Right.
What a terrible movie.
When did you watch that? Today?
Thursday evening, I think. Yeah, Thursday evening.
Well, you guys must have been really bored. And how far? Okay, to answer this question, just because I never know how far to go with these things. At what point do you turn it off? Or what point is the?
Well, I gotta be honest with you. It was within the first 15 minutes that it was just like, this movie sucks.
And you turned it off, or you kept going?
No, you kept going because it was just like, it sucks so bad. Now I got to see what happens here.
Right.
Because literally it was so disjointed.
Right.
And so terrible. And it was just like, this movie really blows, but it was just like, now I'm invested. So
right.
What could possibly happen here?
See, I'm always torn on that, especially if I'm watching a movie with somebody. I know, and I've gotten better at it in the last couple of years, because I used to be that guy that would be like, if I start it, I finish it, no matter what. And I'd be hanging out with Kelly, and to be honest, we'd just be drinking. So, but we would start watching some movies, and if one or the other wasn't into it, we're done. We're out within like 15 minutes now. And we've actually gotten to the point where we'll cut out even if we're like 20 minutes from the end. It's to that level now. Is like, we've really gotten to the point that we will not sit around and tolerate terrible movies.
Right. Well, the discussion was there.
Okay.
And it was like, this movie sucks, and then it was just like, now I'm curious what happens.
Right.
And the weird thing about it is this movie was supposedly took place in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And all the kids had Australian accents, but the mother had a perfect American accent.
Well, that seems about right.
And that was the weird thing, and I think it was her brother, the uncle. He also had like a American English accent,
right?
But everybody else had a Australian accent. that was completely unexplained. And then that creepy aborted guy, he's like wandering through the through the countryside, like looking for his mother, and he comes across some Australian guy in the outback who's living in like a cabin.
Right.
And he's like, you could tell he's like I don't know what you want to call him. He just kind of lives off the land. He's kind of a hillbilly an Australian hillbilly. He lives in a shack, and he's got animal skins hanging up and shit like that. And this cloaked, monster more or less comes up, and he's just like, "What? Who the hell are you? What are you doing here?" and stuff like that. And the guy is trying to talk to him, and he's talking like Frankenstein in the Monster Mash, I'm looking for he goes, "You ain't right, mate. You ain't right." And he's talking to him like that, and he punches him and knocks him to the ground, and then he whips out his dick and starts taking a piss on him.
What the?
For no apparent reason. And he goes, how you like a little piss for you, or something like that. This guy reaches up and rips his dick off.
Oh. I don't know that I want to see that.
That's why it's so bad. It's just like a disjointed scene after scene.
Love that.
This is bizarre.
So good.
I don't know. So, Red Christmas. My recommendation for family Christmas movie watching.
Yeah, don't sit around watching like football or anything on Christmas. Sit around and watch Red Christmas.
Yeah, it's a family movie.
Yeah, it's family fun.
Yeah,
Fun
all the kids will enjoy it.
That's right. Just unpack the hilarity.
It's just terrible. Just awful.
Too funny.
All right, well, this is the last live show of 2017. We are slowly, or actually very quickly, getting into our 22nd year, which is on January 6th. We'll be celebrating our 22nd year of the Classic Metal Show.
Is that when we come back? That is when we come back.
22nd year.
Yeah, we come back on the 6th.
Yeah, that'll be the anniversary date.
Look at that. Mm-hmm.
How about that? Hail and Kill, caller. You're on the air.
And I can't wait for more CMS. Hail and Kill, boys.
Hail and Kill, Tim.
I'm just ringing in really quickly. I'm not in Sydney. I'm in Canberra. I'm about to go and play a show, so I'm not listening to the show. But I was going to just wish you guys a very, 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 very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and to all the CMS listeners, and especially Bob Nalbandian. And I just wanted to touch base quickly before you closed off for 2017.
Okay, Tim. Well, we appreciate it. And a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and a Red Christmas to you.
Yes.
A Red Christmas.
A Red Christmas to you, my friend.
You'll have to listen to the podcast to get that.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. And Chris is my favorite author of 2017. The guy is a freaking legend.
Wow. Thanks. Legend.
I'm loving your books, mate. Loving it, loving it, loving it. I must have read the Motley Crue book about 5 times now.
Well, try some of the other ones too, Tim.
Yeah, no, I'm reading those too. I did have a question for you though.
All right.
With the Black Album book,
mm-hmm.
like, I get that the album cover was black.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But the cover of your book is black.
Yeah.
It's like the Spinal Tap album, Smell the Gloves.
If you look really hard, you can see the Metallica logo.
No, I know you couldn't use the Metallica logo.
It's there.
But for God's sake, there's no labeling on the book at all.
Right. I do things my own way, Tim. It's not always your way.
I think it's hysterical. tailored kill.
All right, Tim.
Bye.
I am loving this.
Thank you, Rev. The things that entertain people.
I know.
That was just kind of my joke. You know, that was sort of my joke, that the Black Album had that cover that you could barely see.
Yeah.
So I went with mine where you could really barely see it.
Yeah, it's a Black Mirror.
Yeah. Which I thought was funny.
Sure.
Well, whatever. I think it's funny.
Yeah, there was an idea, or there was a thought behind that.
Yeah, there was. It wasn't that I just didn't have any idea, so I went all black with it. You know, for God's sakes, I don't want people thinking they get AIDS from touching it.
So good. All right. Well,
have you been working on the show, the 17 show, or no, the best of?
yeah.
You got it pretty well together?
No, not really, but it's not going to be that difficult since I've got all the Spreaker segments.
Yeah. See, I was thinking about it today, and I was like, man, I can't remember one goddamn thing we did.
Yeah, well, I'm going by the fan suggestions. A few people emailed in, and then, of course, people called in.
Sure.
And we got to fill 6 hours, and a lot of these segments are 30 to 40 minutes a piece, so I only got to put eight pieces together.
Oh, that's easy enough.
Yeah, so that isn't going to be that difficult.
That's cool.
And since I do the show cutting,
yeah,
I have them all here.
Right.
You know, so I don't have to go hunt for anything.
Right.
You know, what happened in the past when you used to cut up the show is I would have to go back on the Spreaker,
figure it out,
and I would have to go through all the segments on the Spreaker and grab and download the segments that I wanted.
Right.
But now that I have everything in a week-to-week file, all I just got to do is grab it, drag it, and drop it.
I'm glad I could help. By being lazy this year, I'm glad I could help.
So, it won't be that difficult.
That's cool. Very cool, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I actually wrote out a, and you're welcome to do it too if you want, but I just didn't think you had listened to enough music to do it. But I actually did a top 25 that I'm going to put on YouTube and on a playlist, you know, a Spotify playlist.
Okay.
But, you know, that's not like in previous years where there's a coming in at number 23 is the new album from Prom.
Sure. You just got a bunch of music queued up.
Yeah. And I'll put all that out next Saturday, like at 9:00 on the social media. I'll put that out for anybody that cares, you know, and, but yeah, isn't it weird not doing a music one this year?
Yeah. Well, you know what the thing is we just got limited. We were not allowed to do it. So fuck them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and that's it. Is, you know, I did one just because I listen to so much music, but you know, I'm good with the music that we're doing now. I'm really liking a lot of this. I like that Fifth Freedom band that you're playing a lot. I love the Starblind stuff, even though it's just Iron Maiden. You know what? It's as good as Iron Maiden's done in the last 15 years, so why not?
That is true. Absolutely. And by the way, I see Eddie Rocks popped in there. Is Lot Lizard on there, Neely? Well, if you want to get in a suggestion, if there's something that you want me to include in the best of show, it's not too late.
All right.
So hit me up with an email, request@theclassicmetalshow.com, and throw your suggestion in there. And you know, I still got 2 or 3 more slots to fill.
Look at that.
So throw it out there. Request@theclassicmetalshow.com. Don't hit me in the chat room because I'll never see it.
Right. Lot Lizard was pretty funny.
Yeah. So email that over there for Lot Lizard, so I'll remember.
Cool.
Because I can't remember everything, pals.
Yeah, pals, we're very busy men.
Yeah, I got stuff to do. And on top of that, I've contacted our guy that's interested in marketing the show.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how'd that go?
He wants to have a convo with us.
Okay.
So I'm just like, yeah, I'm all for it. So let's knock that out and see where we can go with that.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, Jackal, take it easy. I just did the interview yesterday.
Night Demon,
yeah. Good interview. Actually had it's probably going to get us some Blabbermouth run. Which, did you see we got Blabbermouth run off of Ty Tabor?
I did. I saw that working with Jeff Tate was difficult.
Yeah. Always good when we can get Blabbermouth love on a band that we really are not fans of.
Sure.
And that guy's super nice. I don't know if you've ever interviewed him or not.
I think I interviewed him once.
really nice. You know, I feel bad not being into his music because he really is a nice guy. I've interviewed him 3 or 4 times now.
Right.
And super, super nice guy, but just not a fan. And it's weird because I knew I had that interview coming this week, so I went back and listened to, 6, 8, 10 King's X songs.
Okay.
And then I woke myself up and was like, yeah, not a fan.
Yeah.
Just can't do it. I don't know what it is about that band, but I just don't dig it. It's weird.
You don't have to like everything.
Oh, but isn't it weird that so many people like that band and I can't find anything I like?
Well, you know who's another band like that I just never got into that I have heard people really dig a lot?
Who?
Is the Galactic Cowboys.
Yeah, a lot of people love them. And
I listen to them, and I'm just like, I'm not feeling this at all.
Yeah, it doesn't have enough of a hook or something. I'm with you. It doesn't have much of a hook to it.
But people like it for whatever reason.
A lot of people do. You know what? There's something to the fact that if a band didn't have huge success, then people latch onto it as their band. It's for whatever reason, it's cooler or whatever for people to say, oh, yeah, what my favorite band was in the 80s? Junkyard. That's easier to say than Poison,
right? Or
Motley Crue or whatever. Because it's like, half the people would be like, oh, yeah, I sort of remember that. And you're like, yeah, because you weren't cool enough to get Junkyard. Where I was cool enough to have their 6s, 7s, and 8s album as well as the debut,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's like if you didn't get the band, it must be because you're not as cool as I am. That type of a thing.
Yep.
And Galactic Cowboys definitely one of those that a lot of people go with the too cool for the room. Those are the ones that love the Galactic Cowboys. I don't hate them, but they never really had anything that like hooked me. I can listen. I would never like turn it off, but if you asked me to name 100 bands, they wouldn't be in the 100. It's one of those bands.
Yeah, I get it. Believe me, I do. I get it. It's just like, okay.
Who would be let's play this game. I'm just curious. If you were, I'm going to name some bands and then you tell me if you would pick them to listen to or Galactic Cowboys. Ready?
Go.
Alias.
I would listen to them.
Over Galactic Cowboys.
Yeah.
Kick Tracy.
I'd probably listen to Kick Tracy.
Okay. Wow, I'm trying to think of some really obscure ones. Babylon AD.
Oh, I love those guys. So that's hands down.
Okay. God, who were some other like really obscure ones? And like Taiketo and stuff. I know you'll choose them.
Well, if it doesn't have to be in that same genre.
Yeah.
Somebody, and I'll talk about this in a second, that Canadian band that's so huge up there, that the Tragically Hip.
Yeah.
I would listen to the Galactic Cowboys over them.
Sure. What was the other band that came from there that had the singer that like disappeared or whatever? What was the name of that band? There's another Canadian band. I don't remember what they were even called. How about I'm looking right now for anything how about the Hoodoo Gurus?
Well, that's basically Kevin Steele and I've listened to them. I mean, that's what was the name of the band that it came out of, or they just changed the name?
The Hoodoo Gurus?
Yeah, that's Kevin Steele of they got that song Cat Scratch or something.
Kevin Steele singer. Roxgang?
Roxgang.
Yeah.
That's where Stacey Blades came from too.
No, the name of that band is the Mojo Gurus.
Oh, the Hoodoo Gurus. Oh, I gotcha.
Gurus, a different band that was out in the 80s.
Yeah, I would check out the Galactic Cowboys.
All right. I'm just trying to find, it's hard to find bands that just, Tora.
Like those guys.
So you would take them over the Galactic Cowboys. Yeah, it's interesting. They're one of those bands. I'm with you kind of on it. I mean, I think I like them probably a little bit more than you do, but I would be looking. I would be. It would probably be 500 bands before I would ever say, you know what, how about the Galactic Cowboys? That's a good one to listen to. You know, it would be way down on my list. I'd be into rap stuff before I'd get to them. Bullet Boys or Galactic? That's not even fair. Of course, it'd be the Bullet Boys. Wouldn't it?
Well. Speaking of bands that I'm not fans of, but I watched the documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Getting back to the Tragically Hip.
Sure.
Never was a fan. Couldn't name a song. Don't know much about them. But there was a documentary out there because their lead singer Gord Downie.
Yeah.
He found out he had like a brain cancer or brain tumor.
Right.
That was inoperable.
Mm-hmm.
So they decided, well, in 2016 into 2017, they were going to, go out on a last tour.
Right.
And they did. They toured basically all the cities in Canada, or the bigger cities in Canada.
Okay.
And for their last run, and guy ended up dying this past October.
Did he at least finish the dates?
They did.
All right, because I was going to say, what a quitter if he fucking did.
No, they finished the dates. His prognosis was not good, and he's just like, well, you know what? Since this is going to be my last go-round,
might as well get it in.
And they did, and he finished it out.
Then him and Tom Petty jumped in the hole.
Yeah, more or less, and he died in October 18th.
Wow. The band I was thinking of, the Manic Street Preachers.
Yeah, I don't know anything about them.
Yeah, they were another one that just kind of a lot of people liked them, but they were like a hipster band that people liked because they were hipsters. But I never got it. I tried. I never really dug it that much.
How about Reverend Horton Heat?
See, I like that personally. I would take that over the Galactic Cowboys.
Okay,
that's kind of got that whole. I don't know. What would you call that? Brian Setzer music?
Yeah,
Setzer
Brian Setzer.
Yeah, whatever his name is.
Yeah, from the Stray Cats.
Stray Cats. Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of in that vein.
It is.
That. Not as hokey as that. That's kind of hokey, though.
It is.
Yeah. Well, all right. Let's get a drink.
Yeah, let's play a couple of tunes, and we'll come back. And thought I'd play some Cleveland band Wretch.
All right.
And this is where I hope the show doesn't go tonight. Straight to hell.
I think we're already there, aren't we?
All right, go get a drink. We'll be back. Here it is. It's Wretch, exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.
Hey, guys, this is Nick from Wretch, listening to the Classic Metal Show. Make sure you listen and listen hard.